Jim, welcome to this week's episode of Shout Weekly. I am your host, Carpenter of Web3. Alongside me, as always, is guest and I guess officially co-host Mava. Mava, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. Excited to finally have the like a little intro video instead of just like us going, okay, I'll see you on the other side. Oh, we're live. It's nice to
Yeah,
have that little bit of.
and it's a banger. I really like it. I
All right,
like the,
awesome.
the techno touch. It's I mean, it definitely will wake up people.
All right, perfect. Yeah. It's I'm not much of like a music guy, but I was trying to like time it right. So well, I'm glad it kind of went. But yeah. So it's been a big week. I've seen some just awesome stuff on the timeline. I know I've seen DGen Ape, someone who's very respected in the space, and someone who I consider a friend. Um, he's also like a founder of his own thing, big into bass, but the fact to see him interacting on Solana means a lot, and to see him so excited to um, he what he did with the rewards was he put it right into tokens, like, and I seen Kunda talking about it, and he's like, "That's a great flywheel." And so, just on that, real quick, how's the last week been for you?
It's been an interesting week. The like one of the things that we've seen is more and more tokens launching, so it's really cool. I guess like Shout is getting to new ears. There's, as you mentioned, this kind of like flywheel effect where token creators that have an audience can just onboard their communities, and then it just like ripples and inspire others to launch as well. So we've seen like a lot of the Chinese community actually getting to know Shout and being active. So that's been very cool. In terms of kind of news and everything, we've pushed a lot of things on the product side, but I guess what's most important is to kind of like touch down on the shouting kind of aspect. Like we're still improving the algorithm week by week. Like it's really something that is getting stronger as we're progressing. I mean, for those who have been following us since day one, it used to take us days to kind of like set the rewards and distribute them in order like to have the leaderboards completely definitive. But it's been taking less and less time. We now have a team member that only looks at leaderboards. So one of the points that we got as in terms of feedback from the community is that it can be super frustrating to kind of look at the leaderboard as a snapshot in, but actually it's not, because we finalize them from Sunday evening and Monday all day. So some people see themselves on the leaderboards and then they're not there anymore, and it can be a bit, yeah, like I was top 20 and now I'm position 300. And so that's something that we're really prioritizing at the moment, because we get the frustration, and it can also be misleading for people. So for example, you might see yourself in, I don't know, top 20, and then the final leaderboards put you in another position. But the thing is, because you were top 20 during the whole week, you're just kind of doing the same thing because you're seeing that it's working. And then essentially, like we kind of tell you, no, actually it's not working. So that's something that we're working on. Hopefully from this week already, we are having someone cleaning those leaderboards and trying to really remove spammers, bots, and everything, so that you have a closer picture of what leaderboards look like. But yeah, it's ongoing, and we're really hoping to get that working properly ASAP.
Perfect. And that's one thing I wanted to really commend you guys on because, one, I think a lot of people, especially the ones coming in that are new, they don't realize like you guys aren't that old of a project. So to see how fast you guys make changes, um, and I was really impressed this week because it was like Monday, like so it ends on Sunday at midnight UTC, right? And
Yes.
then it was like yesterday midday my time, um, or I think it might even been late morning my time. they stuff kind of started hitting. You've seen it on the timeline and stuff. So it was super cool. And again, it's nice seeing you guys making the changes. And like you said, having a team member just directly on those leaderboards. Now, was that team member just on like you hitting all the leaderboards, right?
Yeah, all leaderboards all at once. That's the thing as well, is that we started off with having to deal with only a few leaderboards, but now obviously we have more and more tokens graduating, and so it's also more work. But all the work that we're doing is compounding. So it's good efforts that are going to be useful for all leaderboards. So essentially, like the cloud tracking system is provided by Fantasy through their cloud products. But then we also work super closely with them when it comes to kind of adapting the algorithm to our needs and what we consider as like quality tweets. So it's a lot of like back and forth between both our teams. We really work like hand in hand in that, and it's so great to have their support really all the time. And it's cool. Like at the end of the day, we're building this very strong tool, and we're just excited to have it working in the best way possible.
Absolutely, that's awesome. And that's like the cloud leaderboards are one. It's I like seeing the fact that I know we talked about it a little bit last week is and in previous episodes that when it comes to launching tokens, the like token infancy or the token birth, right, is the biggest part. And so it's really cool seeing you guys. Infin's been around for a hot minute, and really they've been around since the dawn of crypto. But it seems like you guys have finally found the way to, solve that problem of like just that birth of the token, because there's always the devs or the snipers are the worst, right? And have you guys had much problem with snipers trying to get in on these still with the clout, or have you guys been pretty successful at keeping them out?
Yeah, I mean, with the pre-sale, like with Shout V2, it's really helping with that, because what we put in place. So I can talk about Energy just because it's the only token that really launched with the V2. But what we decided to spin off after Energy is features that are completely like you can completely custom make them, and it will really be tailored to the way you want to launch as a creator, how you think about it, and also like who your community, like what your community is and who you want to let in, etc. For sure, the cloud system is great to kind of like leave at the door certain people that you don't want early on your token. Like, don't get me wrong, there's like snipers are just part of the
Part of the game.
deal. Yeah, they're gonna be here. The question
Yep.
is, how can you prioritize early supporters, early adopters that really are gonna help with the kickstart of the community, and rightfully you should prioritize them. It's just that until now you didn't really have ways to do that, and so that's also why we built this V2, in order for creators to gain more control over the supply, but without manipulating it, really. So these were kind of like the two things we had in mind. So yeah, the idea is like snipers are going to come, but just not first. And so with Energy, the way we did it is that we did these 3 buckets with different cloud minimum requirements for each. And so the highest cloud requirement was 1,000, and then the lowest was maybe 20. But again, like no one is doing this, so we're pretty much the first ones to do that. So there's a lot of learning that you're doing from launching a token that way. One of the things we understood is that the cloud minimum has to be up to a certain threshold, just because it's not that difficult to build cloud And so what we're trying to understand is, okay, who can really help on the pre-sale to support the token in the best way and to really like move the chart. And so that's how we're now approaching higher requirements when it comes to cloud, meaning that the idea is really to let those key people in at the beginning. And the thing is, like, obviously there's a lot of people that also deserve to come in early on the token, and they don't necessarily have clout, but in our opinion, um, it will really set you and your project for success to have those few influential people that are onboarded from day one. And one great way to onboard them and to have them really skin in the game is to have them participate to a pre-sale. But then yeah, like then it's up to you as a creator to kind of like decide how you want to run these relationships. Like I know that some teams um, even send selling guidelines, meaning they would tell you if you got into the pre-sale, well, don't sell before we reach like, I don't know, 20, 50 mil of market cap. And if people are really game, then I think it's the best signal you can like really give for like a healthy token launch. And then for people to join after the pre-sale, it's just really good to know that those early guys won't be dumping on you basically. So yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do on that front, and it's pretty cool. Like as I said before, it's the idea is really to allow you to organize the buckets as you want, in the sense that you can have one bucket, you can have 10 buckets, you can have public cloud bucket, you can have private cloud bucket. So public cloud means that anyone with a certain cloud requirements can get in. Private cloud means that you still curate the people with the cloud that get in. And then you can also do a whitelist on some buckets. So if there are key people that you really think are going to be essential for the launch of the token, you can totally get them in. And yeah, we just try to be flexible, and yeah, have token creators have all the tools in their hands, um, so that the token launch really fits what they're thinking about in terms of like community building and supply control.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's great. It's what I love is like you guys have you can tell you guys have been in the trenches. So it takes like trenches are the best to build it. And I wanted to kind of touch on um the um oh sorry. So kind of like the product updates. What's kind of been pushed out in the last week, or in general for those who haven't um didn't listen last week.
Yeah. So we've been pushing a few updates. Like, for example, yesterday we distributed some creator rewards. So now creators earn 0.3%. So yesterday we distributed around $20,000 in creator fees. So this you can access it if you're a token creator on your profile, and you will see how much you're earning from each token you're launching, and that's pretty cool. We decided to have this fee because we realized that, yeah, creators are still like very, very important. They're still kickstarting the whole thing, and they're doing a very big job, like especially gathering the like, I mean, like more building this early community. And so it does make sense to reward them. So we've had that feedback from token creators, and so we listened and we put that in place. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Invite everyone that launched token to check it out and share it, because yeah, we distribute them on Mondays as well. And then in terms of other kind of like product updates, we've been really focusing a lot on the algorithm this week. So trying to nail down the best way to identify like real people posting interesting content. So this is always kind of the ongoing work that we're pushing. Um, and then what's also interesting, I guess, is the boost. So the boost is something that we introduced, I think, a week or maybe 2 weeks ago, and essentially it's a way to so the way the boost works, sorry,
Mhm.
the idea of the boost is to kind of amplify your mind share. So it means that, yeah, that's perfect. So as you can see, Carp, you have a 2.4x boost.
That'll
That
be going up here after this. I'm gonna get some more.
So that boost is really great because, as you can see, there's a lot of people on the leaderboards. And so if you're kind of like competing with other people, the boost is really making a difference on kind of like the score your post has, because it's just like a multiplier.
Mhm.
And so something that we pushed recently is we realized that for a lot of our leaderboards, a lot of the shouters are not actually token holders. And we thought about it, and first of all, one of the things we noticed is that it just allows a lot of like farmers to benefit from the system in a way. And it kind of leaves behind other people that are actually supporting the token. And so we're like, okay, it would make sense to kind of have a way to reward and differentiate like spammers, etc., to people that are actually buying the token and holding it. So that's something that we just pushed, I think, yesterday, and that's going to be quite interesting, I think, for the leaderboards. So in following this announcement, we've seen a lot of people posting that they just bought tokens. So some people just buy every token, and because they like to shout about every token, and then other people are just like buying more of the tokens they really like believe in, and that makes sense, and it also helps like filtering out people that are not skin in the game. Yeah, I think it's generally a good update. We're going to see really in practice like the effects of it on the leaderboards, yeah, like next Monday once we finalize them. But I think it's pretty cool. So the TLDR of the boost that we pushed yesterday is very simple. No token holding equals no boost. And if there's no boost, then you're not really on the leaderboard.
That is huge.
Let's see how it plays out. I think it's going to be very positive. Um, and it's just a way to, yeah, again, prioritize the right people.
Absolutely, and that's when, because I believe this will be the first week for that, correct?
Yeah.
Then yeah, because I noticed like some people talked on the timeline a little bit of that, like how big of the boost really was, and it was, and then you would see like there was like maybe one or two. I don't think there's a whole lot, because like you said, that boost really does make a big difference. But there was a couple that, um, you know, maybe had like a big following that kind of they were pretty much, you could kind of tell they maybe were like a farming account, or just didn't have, they clearly didn't have skin in the game because they had zero token allocation, or like balance and didn't buy any. Um, so it's really good seeing that you need to have that boost to be on the leaderboard in general. And like you said, that will really um, like drive more community members to not feel left out. And again, it goes back to what you talked about last week. Even though there is, you have, even if like everyone holds a token, you still need to put engaging content out, like actual good content out, and not just rinse and repeat AI slop, side stuff like that, right? And something you've talked about a lot too is, sorry if you hear my daughter yelling in the background. She's yelling at the dog. Um, but it's also about like what kind of mind share are you bringing.
Yeah.
And that's like a big thing too. And I have noticed that like the content's gotten better, like a lot better, across the board. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah, no, like definitely. And again, like I guess like when we launched out, we kind of had the idea of like in a perfect world, if like all the right people are in and everything works perfectly, like how it would look like. But
Hmm.
obviously, when you launch, like you see how your users behave, who you're attracting, etc. And it's not all the time ideal, but then that's how you refine the product to make it just like better and understand what's not functioning well and how you can really improve it. So in that sense, yeah, we've been talking a lot with the community, trying to give guidelines on how to shout. And I feel like it's getting definitely better. The I guess like the one problem we have today in terms of guidelines on shouting is still, um, especially for new people that join, the multi-ticker issue is still ongoing. So what we see typically is like all the tickers you can imagine on Shout appearing on one post, and this is really going to be we're going to be very very difficult uh, with those kind of posts starting from now, meaning that essentially if we identify if the algorithm identifies like more than one ticker, it will just not count the post at all. So that is going to be super harsh on the community, we know. But at the end of the day, we need to enforce that, because otherwise it's just a lot of noise.
Yeah,
So this is something that, yeah, probably going to be interesting to see how people react, but it's honestly for the better good, because again, like you cannot post something super random and just add tickers at the end. Like it's not fair for people that actually put a lot of effort into writing good content, etc. And it's just not helping the token. So what I say, when I talk to the community, what I say to people to better understand how to shout is just to understand the one goal of shouting and why it's being rewarded. So the goal of shouting is really to help get a token known. So that's really like spreading the word. And then it's also supporting the chart in a way, in the sense that like people that have a lot of engagement, influential people, for example, when they start shilling the token, well, they're onboarding their community with them, and that makes the chart move, which is great for everyone that's behind the token, whether you're a holder, a creator, or a shouter. Because again, we're talking about distributing the fees, so on all volume that's generated. So yeah, in that sense, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I was trying to do a swap live, and then I forgot. I'm not logged into my wallet. I'll log into it in a second. So that is what I really like, and I actually kind of leads into one of the questions I had written down was, um, you brought up the uh, bring like kind of helping like supporting the chart as well as, when someone shows a token or talks about the token, they onboard their community, and that's kind of what we've we've really seen. And I like that's why I kind of brought up DJ and Ape at the beginning. And shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't even name dropped, but like you see someone, people like that will, you know, start talking about the token, and then they have like whether it's a project of their own, or just like a community they've built based on their content, whether it's trading content or, like more mematic content, someone like Bandit or something. When they start talking about a platform or a token, it definitely has a big impact, right? That's kind of why you see, people with a little bit bigger followings on the account. I do like seeing when you see someone like with a little bit smaller following pop up there. I know I can't even say small following because it's like for Captain Dank, like he has the same following as I do, relatively close. So seeing him on there, he's been super supportive. I see him everywhere, and maybe it's just my algorithm. Um, but yeah, I there's a core community that for kind of like each token you like kind of see coming out, which I really like seeing. And also I wanted to ask on that token thing is so I know originally in the past you said that there was like token, so like hashtag or not hashtagging, like the dollar sign, like actually putting the ticker wasn't always needed. You could also put like, say for like the fan token, you could put fantasy or fantasy top or fan. And the same with like the shout token. If someone like ats shout.fun and then puts the ticker, right? Because they all gotta go like they work together, right? Like to push the value of the post. Will that be nerfed? Or is it just the tickers?
No, that's fine. Like you can definitely tag shout.fun. That's also what we're tracking through the algorithm. It's really the multi ticker thing that we're like, no, we don't like that. It makes sense to speak about shout and the token you're backing, but if you're just like backing everything and nothing all at once, yeah,
Yep.
this doesn't work.
Perfect. And then really, so this is something I forgot to ask like last week and the weeks prior. And I'm always kicking myself afterwards. So I ended up like during the show, I wrote a note. Like that's what I was kind of doing. I write the note to make sure I brought it up. So I've noticed that you can, which is one thing I like too. You can. Well, here I'm assigning my wallet. I'm asking this too. When you can post or you can swap on the platform itself, and then you can also swap, like say with Photon. Is there a difference? So here we'll do the swap real quick. Is there a difference when in fees if I swap, like say like how I just swapped here? Now would that generate the same fees as if I swapped on Photon?
So to be honest, I haven't used something else than our platform to swap to be or like I would go like sometimes I use, for example, Axiom or like Dex Screener, the tokens listed there. But I haven't used any other platform for that. Um, I mean, in terms of fees, I don't think it's like crazy differences.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, our fees are kind of like
Baked in.
yeah. Okay. So I guess it doesn't make much of a difference, but I don't think I'm the best person to talk about fees comparison.
Yeah, I probably should have waited and done that with. I missed my chance when I had Kunda on because that's originally what I was going to ask it, and then but yeah, because go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. And then because the only reason I brought up, I was thinking when I was swapping, like I was thinking, I just instinctively whenever I swap for something, I just go to Photon. And then, so I made one of my swaps on Photon. I'm like, wait, or like, is this hurting Shout? Like, is like Photon stealing some of their fees? I need to go back to Shout. Like, and then now I just swap on Shout. I just wanted to make sure, like,
yeah, I see your point. Yeah, good question. The thing is, just because I haven't done it myself, like differently, I should definitely like look into this. Yeah, good idea.
Just because I know like a lot of traders, like, and I know, like I was posting it in the Outsiders, which is like a pretty good, like it's a friend and family group, and I know a few of them are like really starting to look into shout.fun and energy and all the other tokens on there, and excited about the future launches, and just has a few of them probably gonna reach out and want to like pick your brain. So they're I can just see them using also like Photon and stuff, but so like just maybe in the future sometime if we get a chance, or maybe for next week's episode, if you have a chance to talk to Kunda, kind of touch on that'd be really cool to learn. And then,
absolutely, I think that's a great point.
And then what's next for Shout?
So obviously now that V2 is there and we're kind of like good to go in terms of product features for the pre-sale, where I mean, at this point, we're still doing the curation of what's coming on the platform when it comes to V2. So V1 is permissionless; anyone can kind of like launch a token. But when it's V2, we're very careful um, because it's still something new. People don't really have the, I guess, the experience from energy to really understand the best way to launch the token. Like again, we did a lot of learning with the energy team on how to best set the pre-sale for success. So we're receiving a lot of inbound to launch the next token on V2, but we're being very, in a way, difficult. I know.
That's good. It's safe.
Yeah, I mean, when we say no, it's not because we don't like believe it can work or anything. It's just that we think it might not be enough to really explode and be highly successful. And especially sourcing the next token after energy is going to be something that takes some time. It's only going to be the second token launching, so it's something that we're very careful about. And what we're expecting is as we progress, we'll have like way more token launching and it'll be easier and easier. But it is true that we're being a bit like picky in a way when it comes to V2 and pre-sales in general. Because again, it can be a like a double-sided knife or something like this
Yep.
sport. I don't know how you say it in English, but
Yep. That was good. You got it right.
sometimes it can really also hurt. So we're trying to be as careful as possible with this. And then, yeah, I mean, something cool that we've seen also is just token buybacks from creators.
Ooh.
We've seen M Gang, Nancy, Bane, a lot of the top coins actually. The creators are using the fees they're earning to buy back the supply, and it's so bullish. It gives such a great signal to the community, and yeah, I mean, it's really great to see that, and I guess it's kind of compounding on well our positioning and how we side with token creators and how token creators are really with their communities, and it's very cool to see that. So I think it gives the right signals, and this translates also on movements on the charts. So it's really nice.
Perfect. Yeah, it's super exciting. And it seems like you guys are always looking forward. You guys do remind me a lot of the fantasy team. You guys always kind of have your you're always switched on to where I feel like some teams and founders and nothing bad against anyone else. They just kind of take like there's builders and then there's like obsessive builders, right? The ones that like it's all they think about is all they do. And I feel like that's you guys. You every time we have a time to chat on stream or in DMs, you guys are always the gears are going. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where this all goes. And then also, we kind of touched on an update, but was there anything else that's happened in the last week that maybe I didn't bring up and set you up for?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably saw all the new tokens that have
Yep.
launched. Um, I guess something that's worth mentioning is the personal token meta. So funny enough, so it's something that we were talking about with Bain at the very beginning of Shout. We're kind of like thinking of different use cases um, for yeah token creators, and yeah, personal token makes so much sense. We've seen since just 2 3 days a lot of new tokens, personal token launching, and what's really cool is that if you take, for example, Nancy or 666 or all these, just show how if you have a community, it's just the
Oh
right
wow.
to launch a personal token on Shout because it onboards it day one. You have this flywheel with the rewards. It helps you really expand your community as well. Like it's a great way for people that already have some kind of influence to grow their community. So it's pretty bullish. We're seeing more and more of these, and I think I mean, it's pretty insane how quickly, like the Nancy or the Child token grew, and yeah, we're excited to see more personal tokens coming in. We've also been reached out by projects that want to launch their token on Shout. So this I'm also particularly interested in seeing because again, on the community side, it's just so great. And yeah, I guess these are the main things that I'd say happened and that are like worth mentioning. Yeah.
Perfect. I pulled up the Nancy chart. Is great minds think alike thing because like right when you brought it up, like I switched over to the shout tab and started like I'm like I'm gonna click on Nancy and like you brought it up at the right time, like right then. And then that's like what I said. Oh wow, I didn't mean to like jump in, but it like I knew the chart like since it was a new, it'd be pretty like a bullishish chart, like kind of bullish, but I did not expect it to be like this. Like you're seeing the like everything you've talked about today is shown in this chart, right? So it looks like it was a really good launch. You don't see any huge dump offs. You see a regular course, like regular correction that is healthy, and then you see those buybacks, right? The dev buys. That's awesome. And it's, the Nancy token is one I think I'm going to try and get into as well because she's everywhere. Like you're seeing her everywhere on Shout. I've seen a few of
She's
the
so active.
yes, very active, and she has a very strong community. So this
Yeah.
is one of those creator coins or like personal coins that I'm very interested in, and I'm excited to see some other ones. I know it'll probably be asked like, any plans on a Mava coin?
I'm not lucky.
Okay. Did that because originally M Gang, when I seen M Gang, I originally thought it was Mava, so that's like I grabbed it and I was like, okay, that's M Gang. I can get behind it. That's probably Mava,
And
and then
then
I was
you
like,
saw
oh
the
wait,
microwave and
yep,
you're like,
yep.
no
I'm like, oh wait,
whatsoever. Yeah.
yep.
I
So
wish
yeah,
I was a good dev for that, but I prefer to just be on the creator side
yep,
and support them. Um,
absolutely.
and also like I think super important if you're thinking about launching a token, we will definitely tell you if you can launch on V1 or V2, like what we think is best.
Mhm.
Um, but what we've been doing is being way more active and alongside creators and seeing how we can support them. So that's something I'm very excited. Like building these relationships is very important to us. It also helps us as a platform, like in the sense that we want to know where this is going at the token level. Like talk to the dev, understand their vision, and if they're bullish, we can be bullish too. And yeah, I think it's very cool to prioritize like creators and try to track the best projects on the platform. So the best way to kind of um, get started, if you have an idea, is to reach out to me on Telegram, on Twitter, or you can just send a DM to the main account on Twitter. And yeah, we just start chatting, ask a few questions, and to better qualify what would work the best for your project.
Perfect. Yeah, that is awesome. And yeah, so as always, I like to respect your time. I know you and the team are busy, so just any last minute things you want to touch on. If not, we can wrap and until next week.
Well, I guess we kind of like touched on everything. And yeah, I'm excited for next week. New updates, new
Yep.
tokens to talk about. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much as always, and look forward to chatting next week. And me personally, I need to be sweeping some tokens. So yeah, right, that's what I'll be doing right after this. So thank you so much,
Mhm.
and we'll see you again next week.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Carp. Always great to be here with you.
Awesome.
So I'll see you next Tuesday then.
Yep. Bye,
Yeah.
Mama.
Bye. Take care.
You too.
Bye.